I am here in my Hyundai Kona SEL and I am showcasing lane keep assist. So right now, lane keep assist is deactivated because the lane is wide, so it will reactivate here shortly. You ready for this? There we go, reactivated. So as long as you're on a road that has very clearly defined lane lines like this one, it should activate. See, it's still green. My hands are off the wheel. See? It's gonna yell at me here shortly. There we go. Keep hands on steering wheel. It will deactivate the ability to use lane keep assist for a moment if you do not oblige and put your hands back on the wheel. So it's a pretty cool feature. I'm not doing anything except for resting my hand on the wheel because I've got cruise control on, so my foot is just hovering over the accelerator, and I'm not steering because lane keep assist is keeping me within the lane. Pretty cool feature. Not gonna lie, I look forward to the future of this feature, because if this is a starting point, then think about how much improvement it will make over, I don't know, the next year, 2 years. Maybe it'll get even closer to the FSD, full self-driving, of the Tesla. I think this is a great start though, especially for this price range of subcompact SUV. I'm gonna put my hand on the wheel while I pass this biker because he's a little wobbly. Still working. Pretty cool feature though. Now it's turning off because the lanes are separating into two up here. It's a passing lane. I'm in a desert preserve right now, the Sonoran Desert Preserve, and this is a passing lane. Okay, so it has reactivated because now there's lane lines on either side, lane markings. So it's going to get wide here again shortly, so it will probably deactivate. Let's see. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. So since I was kind of hovering towards the road, there, it just deactivated. And it will reactivate here shortly, I assume. Yep. So I was hovering kind of towards the right-hand side, which has a clearly marked lane line, and it seemed like it didn't necessarily turn off as quickly as I thought it would in that wider lane area back there. So that's interesting. I'm going to try that again, see if I can keep the lane recognition on by just kind of hanging out near one of the lane lines that's still clearly marked. Okay, so here comes a turn, and I'm going to allow it to do its thing. It's turning, see? My hand is just resting on the wheel. Okay, it shut off, so I regained control. So it's definitely has a lot of, it's a great starting point. It has a lot of improvement to be made, but it's one step, I think, in the right direction. Okay, so here's one of those areas. Let's see if I hover towards the right-hand lane, if it'll, yeah, it stayed on for a little bit of time. And I have posted a video on this feature before, and somebody made a comment, and which was a great comment, it was a great question, whether or not the lane keep assist keeps you within the lanes centered, or if it just kind of bounces from one side to the other. From my experience, I would say it's more of like a bounce from one side to the other. It's not an aggressive bounce, but it's definitely noticeable that, especially on turns, when you're making a turn, or the road turns, not making a turn, but when the road is curving, it's noticeable because whatever direction the car is supposed to be turning, it until it hits that outside lane line, it doesn't necessarily steer in the proper direction. So it's not abrupt, but it definitely has room for growth. So, and that person commented that they had heard on another vehicle that within the next year, maybe 2 years, it would be able to keep another, whatever, I forget what vehicle they were talking about, but it would be able to keep them centered in the lane. So that's pretty exciting. I'm sure that that will be maybe on the 2021 or maybe even the 2020 Konas. I'm not sure. To be determined. This is a 2019. So my hand is off the wheel because so far this is a pretty well marked road. I do have it resting though, because that is required. So what it feels like is when there's a curve in the road, for example, right now there's a curve, what it does is it'll go to one side of the lane, not all the way to the lane line, but you can feel it when it detects the lane line on the right side or the left side. It immediately steers you away from those lane lines. So that's, I think it's an attempt to, you know, keep you within the lanes, but not aggressively throwing you around or bouncing you from side to side. It's a very subtle turn of the steering wheel, and it is felt as my hand is resting here. But all in all, I think it's a great feature, particularly for long distance drives. If you are on a highway, which is where it performs the best as far as my experience. If you're on highways, freeways, any roadways that are very clearly marked, it's kind of nice to not have to, you know, manually keep the car within the lanes. So here's one of those examples where the road is curving and it very slowly, okay, so the speed limit slows down here, so I'm going to slow down, but it very slowly and smoothly turns your car, and it's not jerky, it's very smooth. So that's my take today, which is January 2nd, 2020. We're 2 days into the new decade. So this is the lane keep assist feature on my 2019 Hyundai Kona SEL, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like more information on the Hyundai Kona, go ahead and leave a comment below as to what if you have any questions, comments, anything, leave a question, go ahead and leave it below. Hit that like button, but most of all, hit that subscribe button so you can get updates and stay tuned for more content coming from my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and take care. Happy New Year.